Welcome to the Daily Influence, where our mission is to deliver a daily dose of positive influence that can uplift you personally or be shared within your sphere of influence. While not every episode may directly apply to your unique circumstances, we strive to provide insights and inspiration relevant to most people's daily, weekly, and monthly lives. Whether you are tuning in during the morning, noon, or night, the Daily Influence is here for you. Listen, share, and embrace the power of influence in your life.
Hey everybody, Brian Smith here with the I and Team series and your Daily Influence. Today we're going to be talking about the power of positive influence. And as many of you may or may not know, positive influence, Be the I and Team, is the name of the second book of the I and Team series. So understanding the power of positive influence is really a mission for us here at the I and Team series and what we do at IA Business Advisors within the scope of all of the work that we do. The question is how do you get to or understand if what you're doing is having a positive influence? It's not just about smiles on the face. It can be about results, but negative, toxic work environments can get good results. So it's not always that. Really, it's about understanding and looking at if we have empathy within our organization, not just from the leadership, but through the organization. Do team members have empathy for each other? Are they supporting each other? Do they show that there is active listening within the organization? Do people support each other when problems arise? Do we see good collaboration, not a lot of bickering or drama in our organizations? And do we see appreciation when there are good results? And this takes us to those practical applications of positive influence. Having strategies in place and techniques as a leader that we can share with our team so that they can create, build, and improve our organization and our culture to be positive. And a positive influence of our organization starts at the individual level. Each individual is a part of that overall culture. And if we have one person struggling, it can affect the rest of the organization. And we're going to talk about that, about the ripple effect later. But let's get to the pieces, the practical applications of positive influence. I like to start with communication. Communication is the foundation of positive influence in our or any organization. You can't have real empathy, real transparency, or positive professional and individual growth without good, clean communication. That means listening to learn, listening to understand what's going on around us, having situation awareness of our team members, of what's going on in our organization. It requires touch points. It requires some structure. Adding to that empathy when you see somebody struggle, when somebody makes a mistake, not yelling at them, but understanding why the mistake happens. Understanding if they have a deficiency in talent, a deficiency in time, a deficiency in organizational skills, and then helping them improve. You can use empathy to move through that frustration. And when you use empathy to address that frustration, when you take an empathetic approach towards helping people improve their deficiencies, their ignorance, then you can grow positively as a leader and as an organization and team. Being transparent, even with negatives, can lead to positive influence because it builds trust. Look, if you make a mistake as a leader and you are transparent about you making that mistake and what that mistake may have caused you as an individual and the organization itself, people will see that not as a weakness, but as strength. And if they are taking that empathetic approach, they may bring you insights, perspectives. And if you're open to listening to that through good, positive communication, we can learn. A lot of leaders like to think that they're the smartest person in the room. That's usually not the case. Talk to any truly successful leader of an organization, and they will tell you that they're likely not the smartest people in the room. They surround themselves with the smartest people. Their gift is bringing out the best in others and helping them to perform at their best for themselves and for your organization. Being transparent about these things is a great way to do that. Being transparent about what you need, what you want, what your expectations are. Being transparent about what makes you successful and what is failure. Being transparent about how you feel, even if it is at the moment a negative. And sharing that negativity in a positive way with an eye and an ear towards improvement. And when we do this, we provide for individual and professional growth. And growth is improvement. We want to grow in a positive way. And when we can reward positive behavior and positive influence for each individual and for the team along the way, we are feeding more positive influence and more positive behavior and more positive culture for our organization and selves. How you reward, you need to determine. Ask your team, what rewards would influence them to perform at the next level? Sometimes it's money, sometimes it's attaboys, sometimes it's a get together. There are so many ways to reward your team and reward the team individually and as a group. Working that out with them so it fits into your area of influence, what you can afford, what you can focus on, what's not too disruptive, is all part of that reward process. And finally, the last one is understanding that everything we do, every moment of influence we have, has a ripple effect. When we lose sight of that ripple effect and we do something negative, then we have an opportunity of influencing somebody in a way that wasn't intended. And when we influence people in a way that's not intended and we don't have understanding and responsibility of that influence, we don't know what we're going to get. But when we follow the empathetic leadership model and we follow being transparent and we back that up with effective and positive communication, and we are rewarding and we are communicating along the way, what we get is a positive environment that has positive influence, that while we may have to deal with negative issues, it doesn't create for our organization a overly negative ripple effect that goes out and brings negative influence back to us. It allows us to anticipate and manage those issues in the most positive way possible. Together, solving them so that we come out the other side of negative issues with improvement. Positive influence isn't about always being positive. It's about being honest about what's going on. It's about being transparent. And as we've talked about here, having a positive, influential organization starts with each individual. And it starts with you as a leader, regardless of where you fall in the hierarchy. Be a leader, be positive, spread that positivity, open yourselves up, and become in tune. Have situation awareness. Hope you've enjoyed today's podcast. I look forward to talking to you again in the future. Tune in tomorrow for Greg and our guest, and I'm sure that you will learn something new each day through Daily Influence. Have a great day.